loves to lie with me and turn his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy but winter and rough weather.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge, our first one for season 6 for the 2026 season. I've been away for a while. I hope nobody's forgotten about us. Well, it's good that our players haven't forgotten. I'm here with Bill, John, Ted, Maggie, and Robert. Got a decent turnout. After a long hiatus, I had a show that was interfering. For the foreseeable future, it looks like we will be able to go back to every second and fourth Saturday, which is great. So, second and fourth Saturday to be performing for you impromptu performances of the works of Shakespeare chosen at random by the Wheel of Shakespeare, which we'll bring up right here. And our first player is going to be Robert, who is going to be the first to perform a monologue. I'm on deck. I'll perform after Robert. Let's put him in the stream. After Robert performs, spinning the Wheel of Shakespeare. What is Robert going to perform? The Dauphin, Henry V, my most redoubted father.
You have to excuse me just a second while I call up the text. Okay, so we're in Henry V.
Henry V, Act 2, Scene 4, the French court.
Okay, just a moment.
Let me know when you found it, and I'll take myself out of the stream. So,
what was that call? MIT Shakespeare?
Let me.
Yeah, complete works of Shakespeare. Here it is.
Yeah, Shakespeare.mit.edu is the one that I always use.
Yeah, Henry V, and you said it was Act
2, Scene 4.
2, Scene 4, France. Okay. Oh, I see it. I got the speech. Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. My most redoubted father, it is most meet we arm us against the foe, for peace itself should not so dull a kingdom, though war nor no known quarrel were in question, but that defenses, musters, preparations should be maintained, assembled, and collected, as were a war in expectation. Therefore I say, 'tis meet we all go forth to view the sick and feeble parts of France, and let us do it with no show of fear, no, with no more than if we heard that England were busied with a Whitsun Morris dance. For, my good liege, she is so idly kinged, her sceptre so fantastically borne by a vain, giddy, shallow, humorous youth, that fear attends her not.
Okay, great job, Robert. Now it is my turn, and then John is on deck. John will perform after I perform. What will the wheel give me? Bolingbroke. Oh, the conclusion of Richard II. They love not poison. Exton, I thank thee not. For thou hast wrought a deed of slander with thy fatal hand upon my head and all this famous land. They love not poison that do poison need, nor do I thee, though I did wish him dead. I hate the murderer, love him murdered. The guilt of conscience take thou for thy labor, but neither my good word nor princely favor. With Cain go wander through shades of night, and never show thy head by day nor light. Lords, I protest my soul is full of woe, that blood should sprinkle me to make me grow. Come mourn with me, for that I do lament, and put on sullen black incontinent. I'll make a voyage to the Holy Land, to wash this blood off from my guilty hand. March sadly after, grace my mornings here, in weeping after this untimely bier. Okay. So John, you're up, and Ted is on deck. John is going to do Cominius. That's Coriolanus, Act 2, Scene 2. Cominius, it begins with I shall lack voice.
Coriolanus? Okay.
Act 2, Scene 2, Coriolanus, Cominius, I shall lack voice. Let me know when you found it. I'll take myself out of the stream.
Okay. Okay. I have found it.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go.
Okay, thank you. I shall lack voice. The deeds of Coriolanus should not be uttered feebly. It is held that valor is the chiefest virtue and most dignifies the behavior. If it be, the man I speak of cannot in the world be singly counterpoised. At 16 years, when Tarquin made a head for Rome, he fought beyond the mark of others. Our then dictator, whom with all praise I point at, saw him fight, when with his Amazonian chin he drove the bristled lips before him. He bestrid an o'erpressed Roman, and either consul's view slew 3 opposers. Tarquin's self he met and struck him on his knee. In that day's feats, when he might act the woman in the scene, he proved the best man of the field, for his meed was brow bound with the oak. His pupil age, man entered thus, he waxed like a sea, and in the brunt of 17 battles, since he lurched all swords of the garland. For this land, before and in Carioli, let me say, I cannot speak him home. He stopped the flyers, and by his rare example made the coward turn terror into sport. As weeds before a vessel under sail, so men obeyed and fell below his stem. His sword, death's stamp, where it did mark, it took. From face to foot, he was a thing of blood, whose every motion was timed with dying cries. Alone he entered the mortal gate of the city, which he pointed with shunless destiny. Aimless came off. and with a sudden reinforcement struck Caerhilly like a planet. Now all's his. When by and by the din of war gan pierce his ready sense, then straighten his double spirit, be quickened what in flesh was fatigate. And to the battle came he, where he did run reeking o'er the lives of men, as if 'twere a perpetual spoil, until we called both field and city ours, he never stood to ease his breast with panting. See.
Hey, great. So, let's see. Ted is up next, then Maggie, then Bill. Ted, you're up, and you will be doing. Ah, not exactly a very obscure one. About as familiar as we can get, but still great. So you Act 3, Scene 1, so we'll get to be or not to be. Let me know when you're ready, and I'll take myself out of the stream.
Okay.
Okay, go.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them, to die, to sleep, no more. And by a sleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consumption, 'tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep perchance to dream, aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil, must give us pause. There's the respect that makes calamity of so long life. For who would bear the whips and scorns of time, the oppressor's wrong, the proud man's contumely, the pangs of despised love, the law's delay, the insolence of office, and the spurns that patient merit of the unworthy takes, when he himself might his quietus make with a bare bodkin? Who would fardels bear to grunt and sweat under a weary life? But that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than to fly to others that we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied o'er with the pale cast of thought, and enterprises of great pith and moment with this regard their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action. So soft you now, the fair Ophelia, nymph in thy orisons, be all my sins remembered.
Great. That one never gets old. So Maggie is up now, and then Bill. Maggie's going to do. Dogberry.
Okay.
Another one that never
Much
gets
Ado 241. Act 4, Scene 241.
Act 4, Scene 2. Dost thou not suspect? And if you want, I'll give you your cue before I take myself out.
Okay, yeah, hang on. Oh, shoot, it's not opening. There we go. Act 2, Scene 4. I'm sorry. What is it again? Because I'm not looking at.
Act 4, Scene 2.
Okay, in the prison. And
Very into the scene after
Okay.
the "you are an ass."
Okay, I got it. I got it.
I'll give you your cue. Okay, you are an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass! But, masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it may not be written down, yet forget not that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow, and which is more, an officer, and which is more, a householder, and which is more, a pretty piece of flesh as any in Messina, and one that knows the law, go to, and a rich fellow enough, go to, and a fellow that hath had losses, and one that hath 2 gowns, and everything handsome about him. Bring him away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass! Thanks. I was trying to wipe the smile off my face.
Hard not. Okay, lastly have Bill, and let's see, we're only 16 minutes in. I see no reason why we can't do a second round of monologues before we spin for scenes. So Bill will go. Robert's on deck. We'll do a second round of monologues before we spin for scenes. So Bill is going. Robert will go after Bill does. Queen Margaret, what were you snarling? Richard III, Act 1, Scene 3.
Act 1. Richard
Yeah,
III,
Richard III, Act 1, Scene 3. What were you snarling? Is how it begins, I believe.
Looking for what were you smiling?
What were you snarling?
Yeah. Scrolling through the scene. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go.
What? Were you snarling all before I came, ready to catch each other by the throat and turn you all your hatred now on me? Dread York's did York's dread curse prevail so much with heaven that Henry's death, my lovely Edward's death, their kingdom's loss, my woeful banishment, could all but answer for that peevish brat? Can curses pierce the clouds and enter heaven? Why then, give way, dull clouds, to my quick curses. If not by war, by surfeit die your king, as ours by murder to make him a king. Edward, my son, which now is Prince of Wales, for Edward, my son, uh, Edward, thy son, which is now Prince of Wales, for Edward, my son, which was Prince of Wales, die in his youth by like untimely violence. Thyself a queen, for me that was a queen. Outlive the glory like my wretched self. Long mayest thou live to wail thy children's loss, and see another, as I see thee now, decked in my rights, as thou art stalled in mine. Long die thy happy days before thy death, and after many lengthened hours of grief die neither mother, wife, nor England's queen. Rivers and Dorset, you were standers by, and so wast thou, Lord Hastings, when my son was stabbed with bloody daggers. God, I pray him that none of you may live your natural age, but by some unlooked for accident cut off.
Okay, great. So good first round, everybody. I think we're ready for a second round of monologues. Back to Robert, then I'm on deck. Your second monologue will be Richmond. More than I think this is his final speech rallying the troops before the big battle.
This is Richard III?
Yeah, Act 5, Scene 3.
5-3. Okay. Okay, and the first line of the speech is?
More than I have said, loving countrymen.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
More than I have said, loving countrymen, the leisure and enforcement of the time forbids to dwell upon. Yet remember this, God and our good cause fight upon our side. The prayers of holy saints and wronged souls, like high-reared bulwarks, stand before our faces. Richard, accept. Those whom we fight against had rather have us win than him they follow. For what is he they follow truly, gentlemen? A bloody tyrant and a homicide! One raised in blood and one in blood established, one that had made means to come by what he hath and slaughtered those that were the means to help him. A base, foul stone, made precious by the foil of England's chair, where he is falsely set, one that hath ever been God's enemy. Then, if you fight against God's enemy, God will in justice ward you as his soldiers. If you do sweat to put a tyrant down, you sleep in peace, the tyrant being slain. If you do fight against your country's foes, your country's fat shall pay your pains the higher. If you do fight in safeguard of your wives shall welcome home the conquerors. If you do free your children from the sword, your children's children quitted in your age. Then, in the name of God and all these rights, advance your standards, draw your willing swords. For me, the ransom of my bold attempt shall be this cold corpse on the earth's cold face. But if I thrive, the gain of my attempt, the least of you shall share his part thereof. Sound drums and trumpets boldly and cheerfully. God and St. George, Richmond and victory!
Wow. Awesome energy there. Love that. Okay. Wow, that's gonna be a tough act to follow. It's my turn. Okay, again, and John is on deck. I'm gonna do Mowbray. Funny, both my monologues were from the same play, Richard II. Then, Bolingbroke, as low as to thy heart, to the false passage of thy throat, thou liest! 3 parts of that receipt I had for Calais dispersed I duly to his highness soldiers. The other part reserved I by consent, for that my sovereign liege was in my debt, upon remainder of a dear account. Since last I went to France to fetch his queen, now swallow down that lie! For Gloucester's death I slew him not, but, to my own disgrace, neglected my sworn duty in that case. For you, my noble lord of Lancaster, honorable father of my foe, once did I lay an ambush for your life, a trespass that doth vex my grieved soul. But ere I last received the sacrament, I did confess it, and exactly begged your grace's pardon. And I hope I had it. This is my fault. As for the rest appealed, it issues from the rancor of a villain, a recreant and most degenerate traitor, which is myself I boldly will defend, and interchangeably hurl down my gage upon this overweening traitor's foot, to prove myself a loyal gentleman, even in the best blood chambered in his bosom. In haste whereof, most heartily I pray your highness to assign our trial day. Okay. John is up, and then okay, so John is going to do Gertrude, there is a willow.
Okay. What acting scene is that, please?
Oh, shoot, I shouldn't have taken it off the screen.
Yeah, I can't read it myself because I'm looking at my cell phone. I can't read it. Let me see here. When would that be? That would be.
I'm trying to. I took it off the screen now. I can't. Act 4, Scene 7, I believe. Yeah, Act 4, Scene 7.
Okay.
It's almost at the very end of the scene. Not the very end, but close to the end. Act 4, Scene 7.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Okay. So go.
There is a willow grows aslant a brook that shows his hoar leaves. I can't. Here, pardon me. But make this bigger. Sorry. There is a willow grows aslant a brook that shows his hoar leaves in the glassy stream. There, with fantastic garlands, did she come of crow flowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples that liberal shepherds give a grosser name. But our cold maids do dead men's fingers call them. There on the pendant boughs her coronet weeds, clamoring to hang, an envious liver broke, when down her weedy trophies and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid-like, a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old tunes, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Okay, great. Ted is up. Ted is going to do Claudia. So yet this is though I believe it's the very start of scene 2.
Claudius.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death.
For the end, I'm trying to see. I don't. It's Claudius.
Yeah, Hamlet.
Scene.
I,
Act 2, Scene 2.
no, Act 1, Scene 2.
Oh,
the very beginning of the scene. Act 1, Scene 2.
Okay.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, go.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and our whole kingdom to be contracted in one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature, that we with wisest sorrow think on him, together with remembrance of ourselves. Therefore our sometime sister, now our queen, the imperial jointress to this warlike state, have we, as 'twere with a defeated joy, with an auspicious and a dropping eye, with mirth in funeral and with dirge in marriage, in equal scale weighing delight and dole, taken to wife, nor have we herein barred your better wisdoms, which have freely gone with this affair along. For all our thanks. Now follows that you know, young Fortinbras, holding a weak supposal of our worth, or thinking by our late dear brother's death, our state to be disjoint and out of frame, colleagued with the dream of his advantage. He hath not failed to pester us with message, importing the surrender of those lands lost by his father, with all bonds of law, to our most valiant brother. So much for him. Now for ourself, and for this time of meeting. Thus much the business is. We have here writ to Norway, uncle of young Fortinbras, who impotent and bedrid scarcely hears of this his nephew's purpose, to suppress his further gate herein, in that the levies, the lists, and full proportions are all made out of his subject. And we here dispatch you, good Cornelius, and you, Voltimand, for bearers of this greeting to old Norway, giving you no further personal power to business with the king, more than the scope of these dilated articles allow. Farewell, and let your haste commend your duty.
Okay, good job. Next up, we have Maggie, and then Bill, and then we will spin for scenes.
I'm here. I'm here.
Maggie's second monologue will be Juliet, gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds.
Oh, very beginning. Okay.
I believe that's the beginning of the scene, Act 3, Scene 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Act 3, Scene 2. Okay, got it. Gallop apace, you fiery-footed steeds, towards Phoebus' lodging. Such a wagoner as Phaeton would whip you to the west and bring in cloudy night immediately. Spread thy close curtain, love-performing night, that runaway's eyes may wink and Romeo leap to these arms, untalked of and unseen. Lovers can see to do their amorous rites by their own beauties, or if love be blind, it best agrees with night. Come, civil knight, thou sober-suited matron, all in black, and learn me how to lose a winning match, played for a pair of stainless maidenhoods. Hood my unmanned blood bating in my cheeks with thy black mantle, till strange love, grown bold, think true love acted simple modesty. Come, night, come, Romeo, come, thou day in night, for thou wilt lie upon the wings of night, whiter than new snow upon a raven's back. Come, gentle night, come, loving black-browed night, give me my Romeo. And when he shall die, take him and cut him out in little stars, and he will make the face of heaven so fine that all the world will be in love with night and pay no worship to the garish sun. Oh, I have bought the mansion of a love, but not possessed it, and though I am sold, not yet enjoyed. Oh, so tedious is this day to an impatient child that hath new robes and may not wear them. Oh, here comes my nurse, and she brings news. And every tongue that speaks but Romeo's name speaks heavenly eloquence. Now, nurse, what news? What hast thou there? The cords that Romeo bid thee fetch?
Sorry, I put myself back in. I thought you would.
Left out of line, but it got there. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So our last monologue before we spin for scenes will be Bill. And he's going to do... The Molehill Speech, Henry VI.
Henry VI, Part 3. Henry VI, Part 3.
Act 2, Scene 5.
Act 2,
I believe it's
Scene
one.
5.
It starts with this battle fares like to the mornings.
Oh, so it's Henry VI who's speaking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here on this molehill while I sit me down.
Okay.
Okay.
This battle fares like to the morning's war, when dying clouds contend with growing light. What time the shepherd, blowing his nails, can neither call it perfect day nor night. Now sways it this way, like a mighty sea forced by the tide to combat with the wind. Now sways it that way, like the self-same sea forced to retire by fury and of the wind. Sometime the flood prevails, and then the wind, now one the better, then another best. Both tugging to be victors, breast to breast, yet neither conqueror nor conquered. So is the equal of this fell war. Here on this molehill will I sit me down. To whom God will, there be the victory. For Margaret, my queen, and Clifford too, have chid me from the battle, swearing both they prosper best of all when I am thence. Would I were dead, if God's good will were so. For what is in this world but grief and woe? Oh God, methinks it were a happy life to be no better than a homely swain, to sit upon a hill as I do now, to carve out dials quaintly, point by point, thereby to see the minutes how they run, how many make the hour full complete, how many hours bring about the day, how many days will finish up the year, how many years a mortal man may live. When this is known, then to divide the times. So many hours must I tend my flock, so many hours must I take my rest, so many hours must I contemplate, so many hours must I sport myself, So many days my ewes have been with young, so many weeks ere the poorest fools will eat. So many years ere I shall shear the fleece. So minutes, hours, days, months, and years passed over to the end they were created, would bring white hairs unto a quiet grave. Ah, what a life were this! How sweet, how lovely! Gives not the hawthorn bush a sweeter shade to shepherds looking on their silly sheep than doth a rich embroidered canopy to kings that fear their subjects' treachery? Oh, yes, it doth. A thousandfold it doth. And to conclude, the shepherd's homely curds, his cold, thin drink out of his leather bottle, his wonted sleep under a fresh tree's shade, all which secure and sweetly he enjoys, is far beyond a prince's delicates. His viand sparkling in a golden cup, his body couched in a curious bed, when care, mistrust, and treason waits on him.
Okay, great job with the monologues today, everybody. We'll now spin for scenes. I just saw that Maggie said something about having to leave early, so I might not have said let's do a second round of monologues if I'd seen that earlier, but it's been so long since we've done Wheel of Shakespeare. I've been wanting to do as much as possible. But what we'll do is we'll according to the rules of the game, we'll choose which roles you're going to do in the scenes in the same order, but whatever scene Maggie gets put in, let's just make sure that we do that one first so that we can still, so we don't miss her since she has to go in 20 minutes. Okay, so our scenes will be, we need to create roles for 6 people. First off, Twelfth Night. That's Olivia, Malvolio, and Maria / servant. I have to look. I think the reason I said Maria / servant, the servant might have, there might be a separate. I think the reason I put that is because the servant, it has just a couple lines and it's easier to just combine it, say that Maria is the servant. So whoever plays that will do both. Let's see. So then we have Proteus and Valentine, 2 gentlemen, Act 2, Scene 4, Proteus and Valentine. Okay, so and then the 6 choices of roles will be in Twelfth Night, Olivia, Malvolio, Maria, Proteus, and Valentine, and the 6th choice will be to do an additional monologue. And let's see, we chose Robert has the first choice. Robert, what would you like of those?
Malvolio, please.
Okay, Robert's going to take Malvolio. I will take I'll take Proteus. John, what would you like?
I think I'll take the monologue.
I'm sorry,
Monologue.
you're echoing.
Did you hear me?
No, it was echoing like crazy. I didn't hear it.
Oh, okay. The monologue.
When you back away, it's echoing again. I heard you when you got close up.
I don't know. I can hear me.
Okay, now I can. What role did you say?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. The monologue, if I may.
I think you said Maria, the servant.
Monologue. He said the monologue.
The monologue. Okay. So I'll
Yeah.
do the
John, when
monologue.
you move away, it sounds like you're talking in water.
Yeah.
Just letting you know. Yeah.
Okay.
It was also earlier, wasn't
And
it?
so that leaves me.
Okay. Actually, Ted is Ted.
Oh, Ted is. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So we have Olivia, Maria, or Valentine.
I'll do Valentine.
Okay, so myself and Ted will do that one. And so between Olivia or Maria, Maggie.
I'll be Maria.
Okay.
So that's 3, 4.
Yeah, and I believe, and so that leaves. So that means Bill will be Olivia, and again, I believe I'm. Been a while since I've seen that scene. I believe the reason why I went Maria/servant is I think there's a servant who has a couple lines here, so I just said to combine it with Maria, since Maria is another servant. So we'll start with that one. Let's see.
And I'm Olivia, correct?
Well, it was your choice. You got. Did you want Olivia or Maria?
Yeah. Well, I couldn't remember what I chose. Sorry.
Okay. You said Maria. Is that what you want to stick
Oh,
with?
okay. I'll do that. That's
Okay.
fine.
So that leaves Bill to be.
No, Ted. Rob is Malvolio.
Oh yeah. Robert's Malvolio and Bill is Olivia.
Oh,
So
I see. Okay.
So we have Bill, Robert, and Maggie.
Sorry about that.
Let's see, and let me create the banner for that. Okay, yeah, and that is Act 3, Scene 4.
Got it.
Got it. I have sent after him. He says he'll come. How shall I feast him? What bestow of him? For youth is bought more oft than begged or borrowed. I speak too loud. Where is Malvolio? He's sad and civil and suits well for a servant with my fortunes. Where is Malvolio?
He's coming, madam, but in a very strange manner. He is sure possessed, madam.
Why, what's the matter? Does he rave?
No, madam, he does nothing but smile. Your ladyship were best to have some guard about you if he come, for sure the man's tainted in his wits.
Go, call him hither. I'm as mad as he, if sad and merry madness equal be. How now, Malvolio?
Sweet lady.
Smilest thou? I sent for thee upon a sad occasion.
Sad lady, I could be sad. This does make some obstruction in the blood, this cross-gartering. But what of that? If it please the eye of one, it is with me as the very true sonnet is, please one and please all.
Why, how dost thou, man? What is the matter with thee?
Not black in my mind, though yellow in my legs. It did come to his hands, and command shall be obeyed. I think we do know that sweet Roman hand.
Wilt thou go to bed, Malvolio?
To bed, my sweetheart, and I'll come to thee.
God comfort thee. Why dost thou smile so and kiss thy hand so oft?
How do you, Malvolio?
At your request, yes, nightingales answer doors.
Why appear you with this ridiculous boldness before my lady?
Be not afraid of greatness. 'Twas well writ.
What meanest thou by that, Malvolio?
Some are born great,
Huh?
Some achieve greatness,
What sayest thou?
and some have greatness thrust upon them.
Heaven restore thee.
Remember who commended thy yellow stockings,
Thy yellow stockings,
and wished to see thee cross-gartered.
cross-gartered.
Go to, thou art made, if thou desirest to be so.
Am I mad?
If not, let me see thee but a servant still.
This is the very midsummer madness.
Madam, the young gentleman of Count Orsino's is returned. I could hardly entreat him back. He attends your ladyship's pleasure.
I'll come to him. Good Maria, let this fellow be looked to. Where's my cousin Toby? Let some of my people have a special care of him. I would not have him miscarry for the half of my dowry.
Oh, do you come near me now? No worse man than Sir Toby to look to me. This concurs directly with the letter. She sends him on purpose that I may appear stubborn to him, for she incites me to that in the letter. Cast thy humble sloth, says she, be opposite with a kinsman, surly with servants, let thy tongue tang with the arguments of state, put thyself into the trick of singularity, and consequently sets down the manner how, as a sad face, a reverend carriage, a slow tongue, in the habit of some suave note, and so forth. I have aligned her, but it is Jove's doing, and Jove make me thankful. And when she went away just now, let this fellow be looked to. Fellow, not Malvolio, nor after my degree, but fellow. Why, everything adheres together. That no dram of a scruple, no scruple of a scruple, no obstacle, no incredulous or unsafe circumstance. What can be said? Nothing that can come between me and the full prospect of my hopes. Well, Jove, not I, is the doer of this, and he is to be thanked.
Okay, thanks everybody. Now we have Proteus and Valentine. That's myself and Ted. Have you? I think we would start with exit Sylvia and Thurio. Valent. Now tell me how do all from whence you can. That's.
Can you tell me that's 12th night? You said.
Oh no, Two Gentlemen of Verona.
Oh, Two Gentlemen. Act what?
Act 2, Scene 4. It's the last part of it after Sylvia and Thurio exit, and it's just Valentine and Proteus. It'll be You'll start it. Your line now. Tell me how do all from whence you came.
Is it toward the bottom? I can't find it.
It's the last section of the scene. Act 2, Scene 4 of Two Gentlemen of Verona.
And it starts with.
Now tell me how do all from whence you came.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead whenever you're ready.
Now tell me, how do all from whence you came?
Your friends are well, and have them much commended.
And how do yours?
I left them all in health.
How does your lady? How thrives your love?
My tales of love were wont to weary you. I know you joy not in a love discourse.
Aye, Proteus, but that life is altered now. I have done penance for contemning love, whose high imperious thoughts have punished me, with bitter fasts, with penitential groans, with nightly tears and daily heart-sore sighs. For in revenge of my contempt of love, love hath chased sleep from my enthralled eyes, and made them watchers of mine own heart's sorrow. O gentle Proteus, love is a mighty lord, and hath so humbled me, as I confess there is no woe to his correction, nor to his service, nor such joy on earth. Now, no discourse, except it be of love. Now can I break my fast, dine, sup, and sleep upon the very naked name of love.
Enough. I read your fortune in your eye. Was this the idol that you worship so?
Even she. And is she not a heavenly saint?
No, but she is an earthly paragon.
Call her divine.
I will not flatter her.
Oh, flatter me, for love delights in praises.
When I was sick, you gave me bitter pills, and I must minister the like to you.
Then speak the truth by her. If not divine, yet let her be a principality, sovereign to all the creatures on the earth.
Except my mistress.
Sweet, accept not any, except thou wilt accept against my love.
Have I not reason to prefer mine own?
And I will help thee to prefer her too. She shall be dignified with this high honor, to bear my lady's train, lest the base earth should from her vesture chance to steal a kiss, and of so great a favor growing proud, disdain to root the summer swelling flower, and make rough winter everlastingly.
By Valentine, what braggartism is this?
Now, pardon me, Proteus. All I can is nothing. To her whose worth makes other worthies nothing, she is alone.
Then let her alone.
Not for the world. Why, man, she is mine own, and I as rich in having such a jewel as 20 seas, if all their sand were pearl, the water nectar and the rocks pure gold. Forgive me that I do not dream on thee, because thou seest me dote upon my love, my foolish rival, that her father likes, only for his possessions are so huge, is gone with her along, and I must after, for love, thou knowest, is full of jealousy.
But she loves you?
Aye, and we are betrothed, nay, more, our marriage hour, with all the cunning manner of our flight, determined of. How I must climb her window, the ladder made of cords, and all the means plotted and agreed on for my happiness. Good Proteus, go with me to my chamber, in these affairs to aid me with thy counsel.
Go on before, I shall inquire you forth. I must unto the road to disembark some necessaries that I needs must use, and then I'll presently attend you.
Will you make haste?
I will. Even as one heat another heat expels, or as one nail by strength drives out another, so the remembrance of my former love is by a newer object quite forgotten. Is it mine or Valentine's praise, her true perfection, or my false transgression that makes me reasonless to reason thus? She is fair, and so is Julia that I love, that I did love, for now my love is thawed, which like a waxen image gainst a fire bears no impression of the thing it was. Methinks my zeal to Valentine is cold, and that I love him not as I was wont. Oh, but I love this lady too much, and that's the reason I love him so little. How shall I dote on her with more advice, that thus without advice begins to love her? 'Tis but her picture I have yet beheld, and that hath dazzled my reason's light. But when I look on her perfectness, there is no reason but I shall be blind. If I can check my erring love, I will. If not, to compass her, I'll use my skill. Okay. Lastly, John elected to do a third monologue, that is. John will do. Chorus, the Act 2 prologue to Romeo and Juliet.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Not when you pull away, we can. Now just thumb.
So can you hear me?
Now I can.
You know, right,
Sorry.
here we go. Now over and the other that's fair for but you must and she later but passion or means to meet temporary I'm
Okay. Before we call it a day, one thing I noticed is the 12th night scene that we did. I should have marked that that was pretty much Malvolio's scene. The other two characters were just filler. I should have marked that as one where the people that get cast in the other roles will be disappointed. Now, Maggie couldn't stay anyway, but if Bill would like to do an additional monologue because he had such a small role in that,
Sure.
okay. So I want to make sure there's balance. We don't have
Okay.
equal chance to be seen. Okay. I'm going to mark that from now on that indicate that put the asterisk. I know those are small roles. When that gets spun, we won't make you use it. Okay,
King John. Wow. Okay. Do you know the context of this?
I believe that's when she found. I think that's when she finds out that they've arranged the marriage between. I think the nephew of King John, basically give the people that she thought was on her side pressing Arthur's claim to the throne. You know, she's frustrated that they gave up her cause in faith. I believe that's the context.
Okay, I'll do the best I can.
Act 3, scene 1. Whenever you're ready, go.
All right. Gone to be married, gone to swear a peace, false blood to false blood joined, gone to be friends. Shall Lors have Blanche and Blanche those provinces? It is not so. Thou hast misspoke, misheard. Be well advised, tell o'er thy tale again. It cannot be. Thou dost but say 'tis so. I trust I may not trust thee, for thy word is but the vain breath of a common man. Believe me, I do not believe thee, man. I have a king's oath to do the contrary. If thou shalt be punished for thus frightening me, I am sick and capable of fears, oppressed with wrongs, and therefore full of fears. A widow, husbandless, subject to fears. A woman, naturally born to fears. And though thou now confess thou didst but jest, with my vexed spirits I cannot take a truce, but they will quake and tremble all this day. What dost thou mean by shaking of thy head? Why dost thou look so sadly on my son? What means that hand upon that breast of thine? Why holds thine eye that lamentable room, like a proud river peering o'er his bounds? Be these sad signs and confirmers of thy words? Then speak again, not all thy former tale, but this one word, whether thy tale be true.
Okay, great. So great performances today, everybody. It was good being back, and I think we're gonna resume the bi-weekly things. So unless something else comes up, I look forward to seeing you all again, same time in 2 weeks for our next Wheel of Shakespeare challenge. I'll see you guys then. Bye now.